in enhancing vocabulary, then I will move to discuss some challenges that teachers face when implementing TPLT in ESP. Then I will provide some recommendations for making the use of TPLT effective, and I will finish with the criticism and suggestions for future research. As an introduction to vocabulary acquisition, we could say that vocabulary acquisition is very essential for effective communication among learners in specific fields. The acquisition of vocabulary can help students succeed in both academic and professional contexts, while the limited vocabulary can hinder the effective understanding and engagement in different contexts. The use of task-based learning approach can help learners promote meaningful interaction through real-world tasks, as well as it can encourage the use of vocabulary and to enhance retention and comprehension. And it can begin with a practical English for an approach of language education tailored to the specific needs of learners in professional and academic domains. It emphasizes a learner's approach focusing on teaching vocabulary and communication skills that are directly relevant to the specific needs such as medicine, engineering, and business. This targeted instruction ensures that learners acquire the essential language tools necessary to function effectively in their chosen professional context, making ESP an essential component of language education. TBLT can be defined as an instructional approach or method essential to the use of meaningful tasks as the primary unit of planning and instruction. Use of this approach encourages learners to engage in real-world tasks that require authentic use of language, which promote both participation and communication. Through the use of tasks, students can apply language skills in practical contexts, enhancing both their comprehension and attention of vocabulary and structures. This approach gives importance to the completion of tasks over explicit grammar instruction, thus fostering more natural acquisition of language. Concerning the subject of TBLT in ESP domains, research has revealed that the use of TBLT can help learners to enhance both their engagement and motivation. For instance, the use of role plays in tourism studies boosts both students' motivation and active vocabulary acquisition. In addition to this, the use of TBLT can promote long-term vocabulary retention. Some studies have reported that the use of TBLT improved retention of vocabulary after, say, the use of collaborative tasks. In addition to this, the use of TBLT can enhance the overall language proficiency and the contextual language use. The use of real, say, world tasks can help learners to enhance the overall language performance better than the use of traditional learning methods. We can summarize the benefits of TBLT in US vocabulary in the following. First of all, the use of TBLT can enhance the contextualized learning, ensuring students can understand the relevance of the application in real context. And using TBLT as well can promote collaborative learning. Group-based tasks can promote peer interaction, thus enabling vocabulary sharing and enhancing collaborative learning among students. And as well, it can enhance the communicative competence of students, thus enabling students to acquire new vocabulary in different practical and authentic situations. And the use of tasks as well can be tailored to the specific needs of the specific fields of learners, thus making the vocabulary acquisition more relevant to the professional and academic needs of students. We can move to some challenges that teachers face when applying TBLT in ESP. Some of these challenges include that teachers sometimes do not have adequate understanding of the base level learning, and this belief can enhance and hinder the effective use of TBLT in ESP classes. In addition to this, the use of tasks sometimes can be time consuming for teachers. Thus, teachers sometimes find difficulty and do not have adequate time to implement tasks in their classes. And the professional development as well of teachers is lacking. Thus, there is a gap between the theory and practice. In addition to this, you can say that sometimes the assessment of vocabulary can be subjective. So that's going to be difficult for teachers with this approach. And having mixed levels of students in classrooms as well hinder teachers from using tasks, and sometimes the students all engage in tasks in the classrooms. Sometimes the teachers have negative attitudes to the use of TBLT and might restrict them to the use of only traditional teaching methods. Thus, the effective use of TBLT is hindered through the negative attitudes of teachers towards TBLT. Now we can provide some recommendations for the effective implementation of TBLT. The effective implementation of TBLT requires an analysis of student needs. Teachers should identify specific needs of students and ensure that the tasks that they use are relevant to the academic and professional goals of students. In addition to this, teachers should design, let's say, field tasks. For example, scenarios that reflect real-world applications of the vocabulary being taught. Teachers as well are suggested to implement the use of technology. The use of technology can help teachers to create interactive tasks and provide more instant feedback, thus enhancing the learning and experience of students. Teachers as well are suggested to implement pre-tasks and post-tasks activities to support vocabulary acquisitions. These activities can develop the overall, let's say, skills of, especially, let's say, vocabulary among learners. As a conclusion, we could say that TBLT has proven to be an effective approach to enhancing vocabulary acquisition with ESP classes. It focuses on meaningful, real-world tasks. It fosters as well deep engagement and contextual understanding of specialized vocabulary among learners. However, to fully enhance the use of TBLT, future research should explore innovative task designs that cater to the diverse ESP contexts, as well as investigate the longitudinal impacts of TBLT on vocabulary retention and assess the effectiveness of technology enhanced task-based approach in varied educational settings. That was all from my presentations. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you to Dr. Shahrazad. So your talk was about task-based learning approach to enhance vocabulary in ESP class. As we know, in ESP is related to register analysis, which is linked to vocabulary. So you have highlighted the benefits of TBLT in ESP vocabulary, as well as the challenges in ESP class. So thank you also for your recommendations concerning the effective use of TBLT. Thank you once again. So maybe you are going to have some questions from the participants, so stay with us till the end. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Now we are going to move to my dear student, Mohammed Amin Mesahel. Mohammed, are you? Yes, ready? So how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yes, thank you.
I really missed you, madam. How are you doing?
Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you. So you are going to start your presentation if you are ready. Yes? Let's start. Yes. Okay. The floor is yours, my dear.
Okay, thank you so much. I'd like to start by thanking the organizing committee for such an excellent event. It's a pleasure to see you again, madam. Hope all is well. My study is about integrating full code medical simulation to enhance students' vocabulary size, case of the medical residents at the Department of Medicine at the University of Bijaya. So for the agenda for the day, we're going to have a look at an introduction, research questions, limitations, definition of key terms, medical vocabulary, medical simulation, and for code medical simulation as an application, the research methodology, and a discussion of the results. So vocabulary is a cornerstone of language learning and teaching, serving as a foundation for effective communication. In the field of medicine, strong vocabulary is indispensable, especially when communicating with colleagues or patients, or an array from discussing the lit all the way to other aspects that are critical to the medical field. Still, despite its importance, vocabulary instruction has been often underestimated, and we don't really regard it as that important uh, to other counterparts like speaking, but still vocabulary is the essence of speaking and other skills. And also traditionally, language education in medical settings has relied on heavily classroom-based instruction and not really such technological and modern tools. The rapid evolution of technology has brought innovative solutions that could transform how medical professions enhance their linguistic skills. After administering a diagnostic test to these residents, it became evident that medical residents face the gap when discussing their vocabulary, and it became a hindrance when navigating their environments, thus highlighted the urgent need to tailor such a solution to the vocabulary development. As of such, we ask what are the effects of implementing the full code medical simulation on increasing students' vocabulary size, and what are the perception of these residents regarding the implementation of the full code medical simulation. As of such, we hypothesize that medical residents who receive such treatments do not increase their vocabulary size as a null hypothesis. As for the alternative is that they will increase their vocabulary size through the full code medical simulation. So vocabulary side, what do we mean by it? We mean it's the recognition of a number of words that the foreign learners should know or at least should attain at a particular level or language proficiency, and that should also be linked to their age. Vocabulary plays a critical role, directly impacts their comprehension and production as well. What do we mean by medical simulation? It's an imitation of some real things or real life situations, has historical roots in skill practice, problem solving, and judgment, and primitive forms of medical simulation, such as physical models of anatomy and diseases, has been all brought up by technology to a new environment that's accessible. Yes. Okay. The study has some limitations, such as the application of technology is intensive a bit when it comes to the full code medical simulation, and training is also essential. So, without discussing the vocabulary of the medical simulation, as we've seen, just the definitions, this is the app and how it works is that it gives you the scenario, it gives you an overall score of how you've done with the application as well. The study follows a one group pre-post test quasi-experimental, 10 medical residents at the university, and we have vocabulary diagnostic test based on quick and easy medical terminology by Piggy Leonard, and the pre-test administration and the post-test administration. So for results, we have the vocabulary for the descriptive test for the diagnostic. The scores were between 6 and 25 out of 65 items, which were low scores in the diagnostic test. As for the pre-test, we took another model out of the same test to the final version. It was 7 and 14 scores. This indicates also that they had a low range of medical terminology knowledge. As for the post-test descriptive, there has been an increase from that 6 to 7 to 14 to 11 and 15, indicating a bit of an improvement. It was also below the P 0.05. Thus, we refuted the null hypothesis and we accepted the alternative hypothesis. The user satisfaction scale also indicated that the participants enjoyed the application. They loved how it works, and they will be using it for future in their future. So a research question is revisited. So the comparison between the pre-test and post-test has shown statistical significance, answering the full codes, was it effective or not? And the second question about their perception was also answered by satisfaction scale, indicating enjoyment, satisfaction, and helpfulness. So as of such, we recommend that the full code medical simulation can be used as many as levels as you'd like. The good cooperation on proper level of the learner would result in significant development. The full code should be paired with audio and visual guidance, and the immersion provided by the application decreases boredom in the classroom. Sure, it should be used. So we suggest that we conduct comparative studies to see the effectiveness of different applications, not just for full code medical simulation. We examine the long-term impact of using such application and strategies for integrating such application seamlessly into the classroom. Thank you so much for your time.
Vocabulary size. To test your hypothesis, you have relied on a mixed method approach, qualitative and quantitative. You have used pre-post test and the satisfaction results scale. At the end, you have provided answers to your research questions and a set of recommendations and suggestions for further research. Thank you so much. Now we are going to move to the next presentation by Naima Rouebah. Naima, yes, from the University of Béjaïa. Naima, are you ready?
Good morning.
Yes, Naima, good
Can you hear
morning.
me?
Yes, yes. You can start if you're ready. The floor is yours. Yes, Naima?
Thank you so much.
Yes, you can start. Just try to respect time, okay?
Can you see
Yes,
the PowerPoint
yes, yes, we
presentation?
do, yes.
So, good morning, everybody. First, I'd like to thank the conference organizers. Sorry. I'd like to thank the conference organizers for giving me this opportunity to be among the presenters in this international conference on English for specific purposes. For me, ESP is an appealing field of research. So the title of my presentation is An Investigation into ESP Student Readiness for Online Learning. The case of business students at Department of Management and Commerce at Jiji University. So this is a small-scale investigation. It is practical in nature. And so with the introduction, start with the introduction. All of us know that the integration of technology within the educational systems has significantly revolutionized the teaching and learning process, especially with the transition to Web 2 and the expansion of the new age of internet. Uh, as we know, digital-based education has gained popularity for offering high-quality teaching and learning experiences in a variety of settings. Similarly, the expansion of e-learning platforms has reshaped like this. Now, is it clear now? So, similarly, I said here, digital-based education has gained popularity for offering high-quality teaching and learning experiences for a variety of reasons, a variety of settings. And with the expansion of e-learning platforms, we have seen a new teaching and learning environment. So as we have seen in the outbreak of COVID-19, the embracement of e-learning education has reached its momentum around the world. When we refer to the Algerian context of higher education, a book of research actually showcased the realities of implementing e-learning education for teaching English as a foreign language. And generally, findings from these studies designated the experience as with immaturity. And when we refer to the context of teaching English for specific purposes, actually, I've been teaching at the Department of Commercial Sciences at Duke University for 2 years after the outbreak of the coronavirus. Or we can say the post-COVID era, the Ministry of Higher Education adopted what we call hybrid mode of teaching. And as teachers, we have access students are actually reticent to participate in online, when we say online, uh, we refer to Google Meet, for example, classrooms, other virtual environments. So we have here, we can say that sometimes a matter of lack of experience from the part of the student. And for this reason, I wanted to investigate ESP students' readiness for online learning. And here, what is the core of the problem? If the students actually are ready, so the teaching, this teaching approach can be fruitful or beneficial for these students. However, if the students are not ready, actually, this teaching can be a kind of a waste of time, and it can lead to program failure or incompleteness. So we have here the research question. What are ESP students' attitudes? First of all, what are ESP students' attitudes towards implementing e-learning as a delivery mode for teaching English as a foreign language? And what are the variables making the ESP students' readiness e-learning environment? Then we move on to some theoretical, we can say, concepts defining e-learning readiness. And as we know that humans constitute the pillars of teaching and learning paradigm. And accordingly, the success of any teaching delivery mode hinges on how well the students are prepared to take responsibility for their learning, in addition to their readiness to adapt to new teaching approaches or methodologies. Therefore, we have to define first what do we mean by e-learning readiness. Our definitions from the literature. So as definitions from the literature, e-learning is the use of information and computer technology to create learning experiences. And we have also another definition put forward by Archer and Delay. E-learning delineates a set of practices which enhance the potential for people to learn with others via technology-related interaction. So to be quick, we move on to some definition about English for specific purposes and related to e-learning readiness. We know that English for specific purposes is an approach to language teaching which takes into account the learner's academic and future professional needs. The main paradigm shift from substitution-centered education to learner-centered classroom is quality to learners' attitudes and perceptions of learning. Accordingly, designing English courses respond to learners' wants and needs have or has become vital. So the objective of the ESP impact, as we know, is to take decisions about the teaching and learning methodology based on the learner's needs of a particular group of learners. So to be quick, I move on to now to the methodology. I have already said that the study is practical in nature. So this present study targeted third year ESP students who are enrolled at the Department of Commercial Sciences at the university. The participants were chosen randomly to take part in this study. As the main research instrument, I opted for a quantitative data gathering tool, which is a questionnaire. The questionnaire is based on a 5-point literacy scale this is adapted from the self-assessment measuring tool of Walkins. So we move on to the results. First of all, here I've asked the students whether they have attended an online session of ES before, because the learner's experiences in online learning can give us insights about their, for example, attitudes and also the variables that can may affect their readiness in online learning. As we can say, more than half of the participants said or declared that they have an experience in an online classroom or an online session. Now we move on to the attitude of the students towards online learning. As shown in the table, we have three statements to highlight the students' attitudes. As the first statement, I feel motivated to attend the online classes of the English module. And according to the state, we have it ranked from 1 to 5, from strongly disagree to strongly agree. And we can deduce from the table that the overmajority of the participants agree that they feel motivated to attend the online classes of the English module. And also, they think that online learning can substitute online classes. However, in the other question, when I asked them
Naima,
whether they
2 minutes
attend
left.
online classes
Try to
rather than the
summarize your
offline.
findings. Please, sorry to interrupt you. Try to
Yes,
summarize your finding.
yes, okay. So as the findings we have said, the student attitude, they have positive attitude towards the online learning. Sorry. And concerning the student readiness, we have some variables. We have technology access, online skills and relationships. We have motivation, internet discussion, and we have also what they think e-learning readiness and importance to success. The findings of the study concerning the student e-learning readiness is that students tend to declare that they do not have what we call technological problems or problems in technology access to have a device for accessing the online courses or problems in internet connection. The problem is with having internet or with having discussions online and also the problem of time management. This is what the main findings of the study. So we have also motivation is another critical factor in ESP learning. Readiness tend to be reticent from participating in online classes because maybe they feel that they are fearful from engaging in conversations in English. So it's a kind of escape from the online classes. Also, we have a problem with time management. The problem with the online sessions. So students declare that they have
So,
problems in
Naima, we have
committing
to
the
respect
time.
time. Sorry, Naima, we have to respect
Yes,
time. So, you have just to time to conclude your presentation.
yes, yes. So I'm going to conclude and move on to the recommendations. So to improve ESP students' readiness for online learning, a comprehensive approach is needed. It involves assessing that technological readiness, involving improving the motivational support and fostering their collaboration and ensuring the context relevant. So it is our procedure here to design what we call online courses which are appealing to the students' needs and also relevant to their we can say expectations. And also it's up to the administration to support the learners, we can say to train learners in the process of ICTs to involve in online or virtual classes.
Okay? Okay, Naima?
Do you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Do we still have time to complete?
No, time is over.
Thank you.
Thank you, Naima. So, Naima's presentation is a case study of business students at the Department of Management and Commerce at Gigli University. So, you have investigated ESP students' readiness for online learning. You have tried to answer two main research questions about students' attitudes and the challenges in using online teaching. You have used the questionnaire as a main research instrument to answer the questions, and of course you have concluded with a set of recommendations. So please, Naima, just stay with us for the debate. Now we are going to move to the last talk and presentation by by Lamia Ben Yahya from l'ENS Constantine. Yes, Lamia. Lamia Ben Yahya from l'ENS
Yeah,
Constantine.
good
Yes, are you
morning.
ready?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes,
you.
you can start.
Yeah,
You have 10 minutes to
yeah.
present
Okay,
your
just let me
findings
show
or
my screen.
your
Okay,
presentation.
thank
So the
you.
floor is yours. Lamia.
Bye.
Yes, you can start. Lamia. Lamia, yes. you can start. Yes, it's okay. Yes, you can start. Lemia.
Hello, madam.
Yes, you can start, please.
Yes,
You have 10 minutes
yes,
to present your
yes.
work.
I asked you, are the slides moving for you or not?
We have all the slides. Just select one by one, please.
Yes, I selected one. Okay. I don't know why aren't they like this.
Yes, it's okay. Now it's okay. We have the first slide. Yes. Go on,
Okay.
please.
So, yeah. So, good morning first. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to participate in this insightful conference. So my intervention today, and can someone please just switch off your mic because there is an echo. Yeah. Now your mic is on. Okay. So my intervention is under the title Flipped Learning Model Implementation in an ESP Context, an investigation of students' attitudes and expectations at the Biotechnology National School, Constantine. So I have chosen it specifically Biotechnology National School because it is my PhD research. So we'll start with the outline of this intervention. It includes introduction, literature review, research aims and questions, research setting and methodology, results and analysis, conclusion and references. Then we jump directly to the introduction. I have summarized this in form of subpoints. So in recent years, the flipped learning model has gained traction as an innovative approach to enhance students' engagement and improve learning outcomes in various educational settings. This new model has revolutionized traditional classroom dynamics by shifting the focus from teacher-centered instruction to student-centered learning. In any discipline, the success of the flipped learning model is primarily determined by students' attitudes and expectations. So, in a nutshell, here the introduction focuses or presents the flipped learning model as an innovative approach in contrast to the traditional face-to-face teaching method. And it focuses also on students' attitudes and expectation towards this new teaching method before the implementation. Then literature review. So it's important to have some to review some previous studies about this teaching method. I will give you the definition of flipped learning model, some benefits and some limitations of using flipped classrooms. Okay. So what is a flipped learning model? أهم The flipped learning model replaces traditional in-class lectures with pre-recorded videos, tutorials, simulations that students access and engage with independently before attending class. This is according to Row 2014. In other words, the flipped learning model is an instructional strategy where this lesson is taught outside the classroom, often through videos or other online resources, while the classroom time is devoted for interactive activities such as group discussions, problem solving, projects, and hands-on application. So, to summarize, this learning model focuses on pre-class and in-class. Okay, the pre-class students here are exposed to the lesson through videos or etc. At home, in the classroom, they are just the time devoted for activities, group work activities, etc. Some benefits of flipped classrooms are for students and for teachers. For students, learn at their own pace, engage concepts with peers, so there is peer interaction. Frustrations levels remain low. It means they find themselves at ease learning at home at any time. Particular benefits to those students whose personality type and preferred learning styles impair their performance in traditional educational environment. So it is the preferred style for some students, especially those who like technology in education. For teachers, there are also some advantages. Work closely with students in the classroom, so there is teacher-student interaction, improve students' attitudes. Teachers can group students together. Of course, teachers will have more opportunity to make group works in the classroom, and finally, improve students' ability to solve open-ended problems. So, some limitations. We have to the limitations. Yes. Um, according to Srilata 2018, she stated those limitations. Workload on teachers. Some teachers find it
Please,
more
Lemia, sorry to interrupt
workload
you. Lemia,
compared
sorry to
to
interrupt you, but please go to the practical side of your work, okay?
uh, 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 so the research aimed at to investigate the attitudes and expectations of second-year engineering students towards the implementation of flipped learning. Because this will give insights to teachers. The questions are what are the expectations and attitudes? Then the results. So I gathered the results through using a questionnaire via Google Form with students. Now the slides. Yes, it includes five sections, the questionnaire. Of course, each section targeting a different type of questions. The results I have just gathered some for some sections, like the section titled General Information on the Current Teaching Method Being Used. So I asked them some questions like, how does your teacher typically deliver the lesson in the English class? The majority said PowerPoint. Where do you usually practice? The majority said inside. So here, the summary from this section, I got that the students are currently using the traditional method. They are not using the flipped method yet. Yes. I will go to the slides. I'm not moving. Yes, the second section here, I asked them, this is the core of my research, student expectation and attitudes. So I asked students if they were familiar with this concept before the questionnaire. The majority said, no, we don't know what is the flipped learning model. How do you feel about the idea? I wanted to know if they are really enjoying this idea or expecting a have positive attitudes. The majority said we are excited. Do you prefer learning through videos, or face-to-face? The majority said we prefer a mix of both. And what do you think are the potential benefits? The majority said we expect more flexible learning. So, okay. So this is the analysis. Yes, students' expectations were very positive expectations. This means there is anticipation of engagement, there is improved understanding, and there is flexibility and personalization in parts from the part of students. Uh, so I'm trying to hurry up because of time. Students' attitude they showed from the questionnaire they have very positive attitudes toward the implementation of flipped learning in their education. So receptiveness to new teaching strategies, they have appreciation of digital integration, and they have perceived relevance and benefits. So the positive attitudes could stand for the belief that this model will enhance their academic performance and skills. They were very welcoming the idea. The conclusion, students' attitudes and expectations play a critical role in the success of this learning model in ESP context. Positive attitudes can foster engagement and motivation, while negative perceptions or matched expectations can lead to resistance. As a result, understanding and addressing these attitudes and expectations is essential to ensure a smooth transition and maximize the model's effectiveness in meeting students' needs. And thank you very much for your attention. You're welcome, madam.
Interesting presentation, which was about flipped learning model implementation in ESP context. So you have used a quantitative method based on questionnaire, where you have tried to provide answers to your research questions. One of your major findings is that your
Yeah.
دكتور هدى بومدين، شهرزاد، محمد أمين مساحل، عمر وابح، لميا بن يحيى. So now we open the debate. If there are some, if there's questions, we are going to be happy to answer those questions. So the debate is open. I have a question for Muad. Muad, Dr. Lahmar, are you? I think that he has left. So questions, please.
I'm not sure if Dr. Muad is here with us.
Yes?
I'm not sure if Dr. Muad is here with us.
I think that he has left. So do you have any question, Dr. Aib or Dr. Boumediene? Okay? Evan, if
I have a,
yes, of
I have a
course, Mohammed,
question
yes.
for
Yes,
Professor
Mohammed.
Boumediene, if possible.
Yes, of course, Mohammed, you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you. Professor Boumediene, is it preferable to have a corpus that is from or generated from the actual situation, or is it okay to rely on the lit when having your corpus in case of the Algerian learners when there is little interaction in English? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a very good question. Yes, Dr. Msahel. We have to highlight in dealing research, we have to rely on a reliable corpus. This is why we go back to literature. Especially, it must be, reliable and valid. This is why we go back to the literature. But if you want just to have a real one based on our Algerian context, it's okay. Yes, but it must be rich. Means the corpus you have to optimize the corpus, it must have more than 30 texts. So it's again, it's up to you. But it's preferable to go to, a reliable one, taking one, for instance, indexed in Elsevier, or having one which is published in a reliable database. It's preferable. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Boumdien. Thank you for your answer. Yes, other questions? In the audience, do you have questions? Yes? No question? I think that we are going to, if there is no question, we are going to close this session. Once again, I would like to thank all of you for your very interesting presentations. For sure, your suggestions are going to be taken into account for the recommendations of this international conference. Thank you very much for your contribution.
You're welcome. Pleased to be here.